Hello and welcome! This character profile video is for the class Lahn, and what you'll see is all of her skills, the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, her skill combos, enhancements, player card, and a gameplay video. So, without further ado, I give you the class Lahn. Here we go. And welcome to the skill slide. If you are new to my character profile videos, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side are all of her skills. On the right hand side is all of the specials that go with these skills. And the column charges is how many times you can use the skill. And hits is how many times the skill will hit a creature or opponent. Damage-PVE is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against a creature in the world. And damage-PVP is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against another player's character. You have the passive at the bottom as well. So a few things to talk about. First things first, if you look in the specials on the right hand side, you'll notice the word super armor is colored red, and there's a legend at the bottom left corner that just means that the super armor will not work in arena. Everywhere else it'll work, but just not in arena. There's the other one. Let's look at Falling Blossom. It's the 4th skill down. You see where it says max 2 attacks and then 2 skills lower at Pendulum Pirouette, it says max 2 attacks as well. What this means is when you tap on that skill, you're going to have 1 attack that occurs. But what they're trying to tell you is if you tap and hold that skill, it will do a maximum of 2 attacks. So that's what that means, and that's how it works. And let's see, what else? No, that's pretty much it. I will go over what the passive is all about in the PvP slide. But for now, take a moment to look at all the skills that she has, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the top 8 PvE skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome to the PvE slide. So what I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVE. From the highest percentage all the way down to the lowest. And because you can only take 8 skills into the game world at a time, the maximum, you don't have to choose 8, but that's the max you can choose. I highlighted 8 skills that I recommend because of the damage percentage. And Twirling Strike is your heaviest hitting damage at over 2064.36%. And the next one down, and so on and so forth. So this is a suggestion. You know, if you are new to the character and you are trying things out, try all of these skills out, and over time you'll see which ones you like and which ones you'd rather sub out. For example, if you look down to Pendulum Kick, Dance of Death, and even the one Briar of Thorns, you might just swap out Briar of Thorns for Dance of Death. It's personal, you know, it's whatever you want to do. On the PvP side, I probably would do that because the super armor could be used anywhere, even in arena. Anyway, so that is how this works, and just take a moment to look at all of the skills for PvE, and when you're ready, we will cover the passive and go over the top 8 PvP skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome to the PvP slide. What I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized it according to the column of damage-PVP, from the highest percentage all the way down to the lowest. And Twirling Strike remains your highest damaging skill. So the first thing everyone wants to know when looking at the PvP slide is what skills has super armor I can use in arena as well as anywhere else. And it looks like you have a choice to make. So Blooming Slash is your highest damaging skill with super armor. And then looking down the list, it looks like Briar of Thorns would be next, and then after that is Pendulum Kick. If it were me, just a suggestion, I actually would probably swap out the Dance of Death for Pendulum Kick, and that'll give you 3 options for super armor if you so chose. So just a recommendation. I know I highlighted all of that in green, and that's because of damage percentage is the ones I would suggest. So take a moment to look at this, and what we're going to do now is I want to go over how the passive works. So first things first, let me go ahead and read that to you. Here we go. Alright, so your passive is called Zenith, and it says to activate it, your passive for 15 seconds, you just use your skills. Now, I should probably point out that I believe I looked into this, that your basic attack won't activate your passive, but everything else and your heal, which is Elegance of Marigold, will activate your passive, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in a second here, but let's go ahead and read everything you get. I know it looks like a lot. Decreases damage from other adventurers by 20% for 15 seconds. It increases attack speed for 15 seconds, and then again when using the skill twice. So if you activated, say, Deadly Sauté, and you did it again, well, actually it'd be Dance of Death because you can use it twice. If you did that twice, then there you go. Increase attack speed for 15 seconds, and then again, so it'd be a double dose of increased attack speed. Immediately apply attack speed twice on hit. The third attack will do all these things. Increase attack range by 15% for 15 seconds. Increase damage of Briar of Thorns, Dance of Death, and Pendulum Kick by 20% for 15 seconds. So you might want to make sure, and it looks like they supported what I just said, except they want you to keep Dance of Death in there. So, maybe Deadly Sauté you would take out and replace it with Pendulum Kick, because your passive, when active, it increases the damage for that skill by 20%. So let's see, and it also increases damage against all bosses by 10% for 15 seconds, and gliding reduce move speed. Gliding removes reduce, yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is show you what it looks like when your passive is active. So let's go ahead and cut to that. Let me cue up that video and give me a second. Here we go. And here we are. The creatures in the background are just there because it's a nice picture. We don't really need to fight them to show you what her passive looks like. So that, I believe, was the basic, showing you that the passive is not active. See? And if you hold it down, you get that max attack. It was a max 3 attack. So let's go ahead and choose another one, and there it is. This is what it looks like when your passive is active. You glow white. But I got good news for you. Seriously, you're going to be glowing white all the time. You know, it's all your skills. So go forth and use all your skills while you glow white continuously. So, these poor guys. And that's what I really like about Lahn, is there's nothing really terribly hard you need to do to activate her passive. Just go forward with the skills that you like to use and the way that your playstyle is, and that passive will be active for you. Let's kill a few people over here. I know it's turning into a gameplay video ahead of what I normally do, but let's go ahead and get back so we can get back to the PvP slide. So we'll just zoom in, have her retain her composure, and here we go. We're going back. And welcome back to the PvP slide. So what we're going to do now is take a moment to look at everything, and when you're ready, we're going to move on to the next slide, which is the skill combo slide. I'll see you there. Here we go. And welcome to the skill combo slide. So first things first, let us show you or tell you where you can find this screen. if you're in the game and you bring up the menu and you go over to the right where it says skills and tap on that, and now you're on the skills page, and you look over towards the middle of the screen and down where it says skill combos, and you tap that icon that looks like a magnifying glass with a circle around it, you'll bring this up. However, what I've done is I've taken the effort of having to scroll up and down to see everything, and I've put it all on one screen for you to see. So now that you know where it's at, let's explain how it works. On the left side are skills that are in blue. These are the skills they're recommending. This is Pearl Abyss, recommending for you to start out with, and then the icon for chaining into, and then the skill to the right is what you would choose next. As you can see, more than 90% of their recommendation ends in Twirling Strike. So looking at the very top, you would start out with Pendulum Kick, and you have an option of moving into Dance of Death or choosing Briar of Thorns. But below that, it's all geared towards Twirling Strike, so give it a try. You might just like it. But this whole purpose, the whole purpose of this screen is if you're like, I don't know how to do combos, I just started and this is my character and I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna, maybe print this screen out or have it somewhere where I can see it and just practice on creatures in the game world. Just try Pendulum Kick and then try Dance of Death. Make sure you assign it first. But this is how this screen works. So when you're ready, take a moment to look at everything. When you're ready, we will move on to the next slide, which is the enhancement slide. Here we go. And welcome to the enhancement slide. So if you are new to this particular slide, let me introduce the interface. On the left are all of her skills. On the far right is all the branch damage connected to those skills. And in the center is 4 columns. The first, second, and fourth column, I made enhancements that benefit your character. The third column is what happens to the creature or opponent you're fighting. So this is the general layout. It doesn't always work out that way, but gives you a good idea of, looking at the first skill, Crescent Barrage, and you see target move speed minus 5% for 10 seconds. You're like, why would I ever want to do that to myself? No, that's what happens to the creature you're fighting or the opponent that you're fighting against. You unlock that enhancement. And I should touch on that. All of these enhancements need to be unlocked, whether you spend silver to simply unlock it, or there's a red number next to it indicating there's a level you got to get up to for that skill to unlock. And to get that level, you fight creatures in the world of Elion or Hadum in treasure chests. So you'll get things called skill books, and you learn the skill books. It's random, but you will level up all of your skills over time, and when you hit that number of the skill level for the enhancement you want to unlock, then you pay the silver and it's unlocked. The goal is to unlock them all. So that is how this works. Take a moment to look at everything. Oh, and before I forget, if you see the skill Pendulum Kick all the way towards, a little bit more towards the bottom and all the way over to the right, you see the word heal, where it says heal 120 HP per hit. The word heal is colored that way because it doesn't apply in Path of Glory. So everywhere else in the game, after you unlock that enhancement, she will heal herself when you use that skill, which is Pendulum Kick. So just not Path of Glory. So take a moment to look at all this, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the player card. Here we go. And welcome to the player card. It is like a baseball card. It is all of the slides you previously saw, all combined onto one screen. And there's something new on this screen as well. So the purpose of this player card is if you are interested in this character and you don't have a lot of time and you're familiar with my character profile videos, you can come straight over to the player card, print it out, or just take a look at it and see what you like and say, huh, I should check this character out later. Watch the whole video so you can understand the details behind the character itself. So let me go ahead and introduce the whole interface. At the very top are the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, and to the right is something new. It is called immobilization. Anytime that you immobilize your opponent or the creature you're fighting by stunning them, knocking them down, freeze, etc. You could knock them up, knock them back, anything. You immobilize them for a duration of time, then it allows you to get more hits in. And green means that yes, that skill has an immobilization, and then the next one is how many do you have. So it looks like Pendulum Kick, we've been talking about this skill throughout the whole video, is the MVP skill. It has 2 immobilizations, and if you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, look a little bit lower to the section where it says skills, and let's look at Pendulum Kick, which is towards the middle, maybe one down, and it says when you use this skill, and I'm looking at specials, you get super armor. It pulls enemies on the first hit towards you. It stuns those enemies on the first hit. Pulls them in, stuns them. That's an immobilization. And then it knocks them down on the last hit. That is an immobilization. And it also decreases the evasion's remaining cooldown by 0.5 seconds. So Pendulum Kick seems to be the one you really want to make sure it's in your list of skills that you enjoy. And it looks like as far as immobilizations, she has about 50%, maybe a slight tad over of skills that have an immobilization. So this is good stuff. You already know about the skills, you already know about the passive, and we just covered the enhancements. So below that is the legend of what's not applied in Path of Glory and Arena. And if you're wondering what forward guard and super armor is all this time, here's the definition. Forward guard means incoming damage will either be 0 or heavily reduced. So as long as they're in front of you and to the front, to the left or the right, and they try to damage you, 0 damage or heavily reduced. So that's how that works. And super armor, this means that incoming damage will be reduced, and the effects that immobilize you, like stun, knockdown, freeze, etc., will not happen for a duration of time. We don't know what this duration is, and Pearl Abyss will never let us know what that duration is, because that, you'd be taking advantage of your fellow player with the stopwatch. Their super armor's almost up. I think I'll hit them now. No, it will never happen. So the best way to combat that is for me attacking another player to get in as many as immobilizations as I can, because maybe that one that I get in will be right when their super armor stops. And on the other side, you want to make sure that you have super armor refreshing in your list of skills all the time. So this is how this works. So take a moment to look at it, and when you're ready, the music is going to change, and we're going to move on to the gameplay video, where we show you what Lahn can do. Here we go. And welcome to the gameplay video. Before we get started, let us show you where we're at. We're over here in Balanos, and we are at, let's click on that, Kron Castle entrance, and we are here because they are 2519 CP, and we are 14,961. Whew, this is gonna be fun. So what we're gonna do is we will choose this auto path that we always choose. She'll fight for about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll go back to town, at which time I will say thank you and give my outro. So, without further ado, I give you the class, Lahn. Here we go. We're just about ready to head back to town. There we go. So while the loading screen comes up, allow me to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like my videos, please subscribe, like, let people know I am always making more videos and I am happy to do it. So what we're going to do now is move the camera around, position it so we can display Lahn. Get a nice background for her. There we go. Yeah. And we'll have her give a wave. There we go. Very subtle. And with that, I'll say one more time, thank you. Thank you very much. And you have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye now.